Well, good afternoon everybody. Welcome back to the channel. My name's Lee, your virtual airline pilot, back with you again for another review. I've scheduled 3 for this week. I might only get 1 done. It really depends. One or two things happening in the real world. But anyway, let's try and get this one sorted out. Where are we? Well, we're in southern Europe. We're in France on the Mediterranean coast, and this is Marseille Airport in France. Lima Foxtrot Mike Lima. This is the payware scenery by Rdpresets, and it's for the PC version of Flight Sim 2020. Downloads at 1.44 gig, and it installs at 5.38 gig, so it's fairly substantial. It's currently available from both Sim Market and the Contrail shop as well. I'll give you the Sim Market prices as they include VAT. It's €21.59, which equates to roughly $23.52 US. or £18.52 UK. As ever, US and UK prices are estimates from the euro, and they do include VAT or tax, which of course may vary depending slightly on which country you live in when you make your purchase. Now currently there are 3 versions of this airport out for Flight Simulator 2020. There's the earlier version by FRANCEVFR, then there's the next version by Beautiful Model of the World, which I reviewed. In fact, I reviewed both of those. And now we have a 3rd version, the latest one by Rdpresets even. Another good developer who produces quality work. Be interesting to see how this shapes up. So you have 3 to choose from. Prices are pretty much here and there, but we've got 3 really good versions of this airport to choose from in the simulator. So let's look at the features. So this model has a highly detailed model of Marseille Airport, Lima Foxtrot Mike Lima. The surrounding area is also modelled. There's a focus on balance of high performance and high detail. The terminal interior is modelled, and they have custom ground and building modelling all over the whole airport, including landside, and you can see some of that here. For this review we'll be concentrating mainly on the airport, and I'll leave much for you to explore outside of there. So those are the features. Let's go into a bit of history now. Okay, so some history for you. Marseille Provence Airport, Lima Foxtrot Mike Lima, is a public use international airport operated by Marseille Provence Chamber of Commerce and Industry, or the CCI. It is located just 17 miles or 27 kilometers northwest of the city of Marseille in the territory of Marignane in the Provence-Alpes-Côte d'Azur region of France. In the 1920s and 1930s, Marignane Airport, as it was known then, was one of the main airports in France where flying boats operated. In addition, it briefly served as a terminal for Pan American World Airways Clipper flying boats. Other flying boat operators were AIRSIDE and Air Union, the latter moving over from Antibes in 1931. Marignane was also a production site for hydroplanes by Loire et Olivier, and is a fixed-wing base for Sécurité Civile, the aerial firefighting division of the French Ministry of the Interior. You'll also find the head office of Airbus helicopters located at the airport. In September 2006, the airport opened its new terminal for budget airlines. In 2013, the airport expanded its shopping and dining options with 30 new shops and restaurants, among which was the first Burger King restaurant in France since 1997. Over 35 airlines operate into and out of Marseille, including the national carrier Air France, EasyJet, British Airways, Ryanair, Lufthansa and Air Portugal. Interesting fact, on 26th of December 1994, Air France Flight 8969, with 236 people aboard, arrived in Marseille after being hijacked 2 days earlier by 4 men claiming to be from the armed Islamic group GIA at Houari Badoumi Airport in Algiers. After 15 hours on the ground and a breakdown in negotiations, the French Special Forces stormed the aircraft. In the ensuing firefight, all 4 hijackers were killed, while the 3 crew, 13 passengers and 9 members of Special Forces were injured. The French registered Airbus A300, registration Foxtrot Golf Bravo Echo Charlie, was completely written off. So there you go, this airport's been around a while. It's had a lot of work done on it, and it's been the scene of at least one major incident. So that was some history. Let's have a look at runways now. Okay, so runways, as you can see, we've lowered the light a bit to show you the lighting. So Marseille Airport operates two main runways. Runway 13 left, 31 right, and we're looking down the throat of it here, measures 11,286 feet or 3,440 meters in length, and is made from asphalt. Runway 13 right, 31 left, which is here, is the shorter of the two, measuring just 7,776 feet or 2,370 meters, and is also made from asphalt. The airport lies at an elevation of 70 feet or 21 meters and sits within the GMT UTC plus 1 hour time zone. Now France, much like the UK, does indeed observe daylight saving time, which has ended for both countries since it's now December 2023, and so Marseille is currently still 1 hour ahead of the UK. So runway 13 left first, and here we are right in front of us, features high intensity airfield lighting system version 2, high intensity runway lighting, and centerline lighting as well. Now the charts show no PAPIs listed, however there's one in the scenery, and as I've said many times before, perfectly acceptable. Anything that gives you a decent chance of doing a landing in low light is a help. You've also got approach lighting system here, which again is on the chart, so that's perfectly okay. But we've also got identifier lights at the end. So one or two things here in the scenery, not on the charts, but again no real problem with that at all. So runway 13 left, approach options, you have instrument landing system with Z and Y approach options, and note that this runway is also certified for category 3B low visibility operations, which is basically near zero visibility. So if the visibility is practically zero, this is the one you're coming in on. There's also RNAV and RNPZ approach options as well. Let's look at 13 right. So here we are looking down the throat of runway 13 right, which features high intensity runway lighting, runway end identifier lights, and precision approach path indicators, this time on the left side. So we have the approach lighting system, which again is on the charts. We have centerline lighting, which again not listed on the charts, but it's in the scenery. We've also got touchdown zone lighting here. So basically these two runways are really very, very well equipped in the scenery, even if they're not so well equipped as per the charts. But you also have PAPIs on the left, which is on the chart for this runway. Approach options for runway 13 right, you've got a standard instrument landing system with Z and Y approach options, and as per the other runway you have RNAV and RNPZ approach options too. No low visibility options here. So now let's go and have a look at 31 right at the top end here. So here we are looking down the throat of runway 31 right. As you can see, we have high intensity airfield lighting system version 2 again, high intensity runway lighting, runway end identifier lights, centerline lighting, and precision approach path indicators on the left side. So all of this is correct. The only thing that's missing, we don't have the approach lighting system lit here like we do on this one. Again, it's on the chart. Approach lighting is there on the chart, but it's not, well, it's here, but it's a lot shorter really than it should be. I'm not entirely sure about this. I mean, the charts are dated July this year, so not that long ago, 6 months ago. So certain sort of a question mark about the approach lighting here, but everything else is there, including the PAPIs. So approach options for runway 31 right, we've got a standard instrument landing system again. You also have RNAV and RNPZ approach options. Let's look at 31 left. So 31 left, here we are. High intensity runway lighting, runway end identifier lights, and precision approach path indicators on the left side. Now you've got all of those, and again you have the approach lighting system, which is on the charts. But you've also got centerline lighting, and here you can see touchdown zone lighting again, which isn't on the charts. Approach options here for runway 31 left. Well, you have RNAV, you also have RNPZ and H approach options, and finally there's also visual manoeuvring with prescribed track or VPT approach option 2. So there you go, all 4 runways, beautifully done. Lots of lighting and approach navigation options here, some of which isn't on the chart, but as you can see, all 4 runway ends realistically are well equipped in terms of lighting. The navigation, however, is all correct as well. The correct ends have the instrument landing system, and those also that don't have it again as per the charts. So that wraps it up for runways. Let's do the jetway test now. So jetways. So I need to start off by telling you that the jetway situation is a little bit of a mess, really. Okay, so here I've spawned directly from the menu onto stand 4 Bravo, and as you can see, the aircraft's positioned on an A320 marker, and there is no 737 marker, so we have to assume that the A320 marker is the same as the 737. Normally you would see another line going out this side with 737 marked on it. However, let's just test the jetway. Visually the jetway looks great. The wheels turn, but they're a bit skew-if. As you can see, they just don't go properly. But from the outside that looks to be a reasonably good connection. Let's go inside. So here we are inside the jetway door, which is about the best view I can get for you. As you can see, the bottom and the top and pretty much the sides are reasonably well connected, but they haven't exactly lined up properly. The door is halfway through the side of the jetway, but it's quite reasonable. And there from the outside you can see the door is sticking right through the jetway, so it hasn't really aligned properly with the jetway. So you've got 1 or 2 issues with these jetways. What's even worse is I've discovered that the jetways half the time don't even, if you're on a certain stand, they don't even connect. For example, if I spawned onto stand 5A, it doesn't actually spawn the aircraft onto the 737 marking. It's way back, and you actually have to move the aircraft forward onto the 737 marking, and then when you use the jetway it actually penetrates right through the aircraft, and I will try and show you that now. So here we are on stand 5A, and again I spawned directly from the menu, and as you can see the aircraft isn't even positioned. To be honest, I think really it's the marking that's the problem here. Here's the 737 marking, which is right there. Okay, now currently where the aircraft is, let's try the jetway and see if it connects. As you can see, the jetway doesn't move. It's too far away, it doesn't connect to the aircraft. So let's see what happens if I move the aircraft forward onto the 737 mark. So here we are. As you can see, I've actually moved the aircraft forward onto the 737 mark here. So let's insert the jetway and let's see how it works. So jetway's moving. The wheels aren't too bad at all. To me that aircraft looks well out of position. And let's watch what the jetway does. And as you can see, it goes right through the aircraft. So we have a situation here, I think, where the 737 marker is incorrectly placed, and of course we've got problems with the jetway. Now this is just one, this is 5 Alpha, and as you've seen on stand 4 Bravo, I got a successful connection, but there wasn't even a 737 marker on the ground. And this is just these 2 jetways. I'm not too sure about the rest of them, but to be honest, when you're talking about using the latest technologies to develop an airport, this needs to be fixed. It really does. The jetway itself visually looks great. It looks the real deal. It just looks like they should do at Marseille Airport as well. I have no problems with that. But we have 1 or 2 issues with the jetway connections. In fact, there's some serious issues here. And also the positions of the aircraft when you spawn from the menu. So the developer needs to get down to the jetways and actually fix this. Probably by positioning a couple of aircraft and just making the ground positions correct. So I'm not going to go into any further on the jetways, because you can see there are clearly issues that needs to be fixed. So let's get down and have a look at the main airport itself. Okay folks, so having looked at jetways and discussed runways and all those other bits and pieces, I'm going to do a tour starting from the southern end. You're looking at runway 31 right threshold in front of you. With this product, the devil here is in the detail. The other two products, and this isn't meant to be a comparison, the other two products are perfectly acceptable and they're really good, to be honest, and probably worth the money. Question here is, given the fact that RDPreserts talk about using the latest techniques and technology to get the best results, what we want to do is to see if they've really done that. Now I've come to the far southeastern part of the airfield. We're literally practically off onto the default terrain. If I've moved back a bit, as you can see, there we are, there's the default terrain. So let's take a trip, and you can see they've modelled the road and the fence line all the way out in 3D. No photo ground, it's all been fully modelled. As we do a slow pass, you can look at the detail, look at the cars and the buildings to the right and the lampposts. Runway markings are excellent. Here's the helicopter base, complete with helicopters. The buildings look crisp and clear. Signage looks good, ground markings are excellent. We've got no complaints here that I can see. There's a little bit of juddering, but then I haven't defragged my drive or made any changes yet, and this will improve with a drive defrag and a clutter sort of clear up. But what strikes me about this scenery, literally first looking, is the amount of detail. Okay, so we're juddering a bit now getting towards the terminal. But like I said, remember, I haven't done any defragging at all here. Now it's improved a bit. But it's lovely, it's really nice. What I need to do is to fly the 737 in here and park up and see how it goes. But you can see that the detail is incredible. They've done a lot of groundwork here. And for me it works, it's wonderful. Here you've got the DHL building on the far northwest, northern part of the airfield. Again, everything behind it looks been beautifully done. So now let's track back into the airport towards landside. And again, I'm just keeping a high level shot here. And you know, there's loads to have been done. There's the tunnel down there, which we'll look at in a bit. And here's the landside area with the details, pretty amazing. And here the frame rate has improved somewhat, even though there's a hell of a lot more detail. And I'm just really skirting over this. We'll have a close look in a minute, but I just wanted to show you just how packed with detail this airport is. You know, everywhere you look, they've done quite a lot, and off airport too. Here we go, 3D roads again. I mean, we're way off the airport here. Multi-story car park, all down to the minutest detail. So here we go on to default now. So we track back towards the coast again. It's lovely. There's lots to see here. It's really impressive. The amount that they packed into this, I'm actually surprised that the frame rate isn't any worse than it currently is. Okay, a little bit of scenery loading there. But there's a lot in it. There really is. And I don't have what might be considered a high-end system at the moment. But look at this. It's wonderful. Just amazing. Okay, so coming in towards the ramp now, we'll slow things down and have a look at the ramp detail. So your cargo area to the right there, we'll come and have a look at that in a bit. There's the tunnel there, which looks like it's open. We'll have a look again in a minute, we'll have a look. Just want to go over the parking area, the stands. So we're passing over the stands now for the second time. Remember, we had a little bit of juddering before. It's a lot better here now. And as you can see, loads of clutter beautifully worked on. I really like this. I mean, RDPreserts have been getting better and better each time they produce a product. And you can see a little bit through the glass as well. It's amazing. It's very, very nicely done. So here's the helicopter base. Again, the models are excellent. They look like Sea Kings actually. Ground markings are really good. Again, it's all 3D, nothing left to photo scenery. And more detail there for you to explore there too. It's very, very nice. As you can see, it's just incredible. It's very, very nicely done. The buildings look a bit white, they don't look too weathered, but somehow it just works. So it's a close-up look at the aircraft stand where we are. As I said, you know, despite the problems with the jetways, visually they look really good. They're weathered, everything that is a part of them is there. The stands look really good, ground clutter looks excellent. And here you can see, just quick look through the windows, you can see the passengers and the detail inside, which we'll look at shortly. So just a little run down the airside road for you so you can have a look. It's really nice. And as we head out to the ramp, you've got the odd engineer, airside worker around, which again adds atmosphere to this place. It looks really good. Airside looks great. So as we head across the top of the buildings here towards the control tower, been very nicely modelled actually. It's quite a stunning sight really. So in the top tower, so here we are in the top tower, internal modelling, people there, controllers, various screens, very nicely done. And the same is true here of the lower tower, same building, really nicely done. And the tower itself is really well constructed, very nice. So here's the tunnel. As you can see, it's open, we can probably go through it. The sort of painting doesn't really work very well. You've got some road centre lines going up the side there. Let's see if we can go through the tunnel. So as you can see, we can go through the tunnel, and if I remember correctly, not sure which version, but one of the other two also had the ability to go through the tunnel, and to be honest, it looked a lot better than this does. They still need to have to do some work on this. It's nice to have the tunnel working and open, as it were, but they need to do some work on it. So if you look here, the start of the tunnel, we've got this huge bump here. So you might have trouble driving a vehicle around the airport, certainly going through this tunnel. However, they've attempted to do it, that's great. And hopefully as their skills get better, they'll be able to make that look a lot more realistic than it does. So here's the cargo apron, DHL. Well, again, it looks great. Loads of detail. You've even got people down there, look, by the cars. It just looks good. It just does. There's a stunning amount of detail that they've done. It just looks good. It really does. It looks pretty realistic. It's really impressive. Lots of static engineers there, as you can see on the ramp, which I like. I like it a lot. So here we are going landside, and again, there's this incredible amount of detail. Look, you've still got people there, static people. Just adds to the ambience of the place. So many cars. So we're going to go past the landside part of the terminal now. And again, we have people, odd people interspersed here and there, which works. For me, it looks good, really does. Going to get a little bit of juddering here. Okay, it seems to be sort of calming down a bit now. So there's a great view through the glass inside the landside part of the terminal. So I haven't updated to the latest drivers, video drivers yet. Just about to do that at some point. But here you can see landside. Again, everything 3D, nothing left to photo scenery. All nicely modelled, all the signs. Just looks good, it really does. So slowing it down a little bit here. That's a little bit smoother now. No coaches. And again, you've got the odd person here and there. So it's weird, there's a bit of juddering going on and then suddenly it stops and I don't really see anything sort of different in the scenery to cause it, so I'm still thinking that it's maybe my video drivers. So time to enter the building and have a look at what's been modelled inside. So we're going to do landside first, and I'm just going to be a bit of a pleb and just go straight in through the glass here. So the arrivals hall first. There's the baggage carousels, information desk. So let's have a tour landside. Got Burger King on the left. I love the signage, it's really clear. Various stairwells. Well, it all looks pretty nice. It's a pity that it's devoid of people at the moment. It doesn't seem to have any people in it. Maybe there's some on the other side, we'll see. Okay, so you get some people up there. But this all looks pretty good. So here's airside. Some nice, lots and lots of people, not affecting the frame rate. Looks really quite good. Now people queuing at the check-in desk there at the gate, but there's no gate staff. So we track along the upper level here. I'm trying to see where the security check would be. It's got a little cafe there. So this goes on all the way down, and it's not too bad at all actually. But as you can see, I mean, it's quite impressive. It really is very nice. So as you can see, this is the airside lounge. Loads of people. Doesn't seem to be any frame rate issues here or stutters. So not bad at all really. So that was a quick daytime tour of airside and landside and a brief look at the interior. Let's drop the lighting down to sunset, to dusk, and have a look at the lighting. Okay, 5:10 in the evening. It's sort of early December 2023, and you can see the dusk is upon us and the lighting has come up. A lot of it quite subtle. Blue airfield edge lights, plenty of them. Green centerline taxiway lights as well. It's going to help you find your way around. Well, there's a look out towards the southeast. You can see the two runways there. And the taxiways all well lit. Really, really nice. And looking out to the northwest, there's runway 13 left and right there. Looking out into the bay and got the DHL cargo area below us. So here's my aircraft on stand. This is the view you're going to get as you look around here. Nice to see the jetways lit at the end here, and the red lights on top, which is what you expect. The stand lighting is quite good. We've got these powerful lights at the top here, and here you can see inside the terminal. All looks pretty good. So here's a view from the flight deck. I'll just park up on this stand here. This is what you'll see. View from the captain's side. And there's a view looking across the first officer side, and again you can see inside the terminal through the glass. All looks quite acceptable. So as you can see, at this point in time you're not going to have much of a problem finding your way into the stands. The lighting is really quite nice, quite subtle everywhere you look. And just here's another view here showing you airside, and you can see inside the terminal. Well, I mean, it looks quite impressive. So let's have a quick look out on the taxiway, have a look at some of the signage. As you can see, the green centerline lights are really nice. Just pop down the taxiway here. Signage looks good, really no complaints about it at all. And again, it reflects into the grass as well, which looks good. Here we're coming up on a runway entrance. And as you can see, it's no problem at all there really. Looks really quite good. So just a further look here. Just have a look at some of the lighting generally, taxiway signage. You've got parallaxing effect on some of these buildings. Here's the helicopter base. Again, no issues with lighting here. Although we've got 2 Asobo globes floating there, which is a pity, but there you go. Can't have everything. So just looking across the rest of the helicopter base, looks really good. It's a pity that we're having to use the Asobo globes there floating to provide the light. Can't for one moment think there can't be lighting stanchions here somewhere to provide this. So we come across the fence. Okay, we've got runway stop bars there, but I can't see any wigwags or anything like that, so I don't know if they exist at the real airport. But there's the entry to the runway. And there's the view looking down the runway. Right, this I believe is the VIP area. There's a helicopter point for it there. And here you've got this rather large hangar. And you've got more buildings and access points here as well. So here's the DHL cargo area. Again, nicely lit. Really is nice. You got the fuel farm on there to the left as well. So here we are landside. A real pity about these little globes everywhere. But as you can see, it looks the part. And you can see the internal development in the terminal through the windows, which looks good. And you've got car rental down there to the left. Oh, it looks great. This is the multi-storey car park there just to the right of us. The airside landside boundary fence below us. And as you can see, more buildings and things to explore here landside. Very impressive. So that was the airport at dusk. Let's take it down to night time now. Okay, 10 PM local time, and as you can see, night is upon us. There's the look across the airside and landside areas of the main terminal complex, and as you can see, there's plenty of lighting. Taxiing around shouldn't be a problem. Getting on and off the runways really shouldn't be too much of an issue at night. And getting into the stand shouldn't be a problem either. You've got plenty of light, both airside and looking landside as well. Lots of subtle lighting and lots of things to explore. There, looking towards the southwest, you can see the VIP hangar in the distance. And there, looking towards the southeast, you can see the threshold of the runways there, taxiway lines. Helicopter base is below us, and more buildings and things going on landside as well. All in all, it looks pretty impressive. So just a quick look at the threshold of the runway here leading in. Here are the signage, which looks quite good. You've got stop bars there. And here's something we didn't see at dusk for some reason. I don't understand why we didn't see that at dusk, but you've got WIGWAGS. Runway 31 left, which is the shorter runway, and you've got WIGWAGS there. So what does it look like on the stand? Well, here you are close up. There's my 737 parked down there. As you can see, the lighting quite subtle. It's not overly done, certainly on the ramp. There's enough of it for you to be useful. And again, it just looks really nice to see the ends of the jetways lit. Again, easily good views inside into the terminal. You can see the passengers through the windows. Visually, the scene looks very pleasant. And they're looking in the other direction, you've got the same. And here you also get a good idea here of what the lighting is like close up on the ramp. Once again, a quick shot out of the cockpit. Don't see any issues here at all. It all looks pretty pleasant. Even though it's the dead of night, it looks perfectly good. So there's a nice view, some of the vehicles moving about. In the distance is the cargo area, the DHL building, and you can see the strobes coming into runway 13 right there. So just a quick look inside departures, airside here, and you can see lighting's quite impressive. It looks pretty good. And there's a view looking out from inside, out through the windows. You can see the blue lights as the windows look quite good because you can see through them. And here you can see stuff outside on the ramp. Here's the escalators, which are static. So just looking inside from the airside ramp here. And looking out from inside here, we can see the passengers. Interesting that they've done a really nice job. You can see the sign is continually changing here, which is quite nice. And it's great. They've done a nice job here. And notice when I was moving through here and spinning the camera around, you've got all these people models, and they're quite detailed, and yet it's not affecting the motion at all. There's a higher level shot, which I think looks quite impressive. It's been very nicely done. Very quick look landside here at night time. It's nice. Very nice. All the signs are clear. Some subtle lighting there on the left, just giving you the view inside there. It's really nice. It's really nice. And you have the odd passenger here and there too. It's very impressive. Terminal 2 here. Really nice. So as we come up on the control tower, you can see the red lights give you that really nice glow. And here we are on the lower level, and here we are on the upper level. All looks pretty impressive. Okay, so let's turn it up to dawn. Okay, 8:25 in the morning. As you can see, the sun's coming up, the buildings are starting to have that reddish glow, and this all looks pretty impressive. And there's a view looking out to runway 13 left and right over the bay, and again you can see this lovely glow as the sun comes up in the morning. Okay, 12 noon, and time to give you my thoughts and conclusions. I've tried to keep this short because you've seen two other versions of Marseille, and probably enough there to make a comparison. And as you can see from the short tour that we've had, there's plenty that makes this airport a really good project. Do I like it? Yeah, I do. I need to visit the stutters I'm getting occasionally, but I still think it's my graphics card. I think the performance of this product actually is really not too bad at all. I mean, I've been moving airside along the terminals and getting some stutters, and then coming back the other way and not getting any at all, so I still think it's a graphics issue. Do I think it's worth the price? Okay, so we're talking nearly 22 euros. Remember, those prices include tax and VAT. Yeah, I think it is. It's not quite on the high end. I mean, I've seen sceneries for 28 euros. They're nowhere near as good as this. So 22 euros, about just under $24 US, or just over £18 UK. I think the price is about right. A lot of work has gone into this, lots and lots of detail, not just the thousands of cars that you can see, but the buildings, placing the odd people here and there. I think is such a really good idea. I've shouted out about this in so many sceneries to say that they've done a wonderful job with the detail, but they've just left the people out. RDPreserts have done a nice job in putting some people in. Not that many, certainly not landside, but just a few here and there to make it interesting. The internal part of the terminal is okay. It's not bad at all. Airside is done really nicely, and I'm quite surprised actually that you've got those wonderful figures in the airside lounges that are quite detailed, and yet they're not affecting the frame rate at all as I move through the terminal. But as a pilot coming in here, if all you want to do is to fly into a decent airport with all the mod cons, this certainly has it. You've got everything you need to get onto the runway and then get off again and park up at the terminal and taxi out at any time of the day or night. It's really, really nicely done. I'm really quite impressed with it. I don't like to compare it with other versions unless that's a specific aim of a review, and really this isn't. This is really just to review this particular product and assess how much has gone into it. Is it worth the price, and would you be enjoying it if you got it? I have to say yes to all of those things. It's great, there's no question about it. It's on a par with Beautiful Model of the World. There are one or two issues that they need to solve. I have been in contact with Rdpresets, and they do assure me that there's an update coming out. They are fixing some issues, and they're aware of the JETWAY issues as well, and I would hope that they will have a look at this and also see if they can do a better job of that airside tunnel, which, if I remember correctly, was done really well in the Beautiful Model of the World version. But no, it's nice. It looks really nice. They've done a nice job. There's loads of work gone into it. So yes, it's definitely worth the price. Would have been nice to see them offer something other than Marseille. Like I said, we now have 3 versions of the same product, and that doesn't include the default one that sits underneath here. However, it's nothing like having choice. I really, really like the idea of being able to choose. So yeah. Absolutely, I like it. Very, very nice indeed. And I can recommend it, especially now that they're telling me that there are some updates coming to improve the product and fix a few bugs. So there you go, folks. Marseille Airport in France on French Riviera. It's Lima Foxtrot Mike Lima. This is the payware version by Rdpresets. and it's for the PC version of Flight Sim 2020. Downloads at 1.44 gig and installs at 5.38 gigs, so it's quite substantial. It's available currently from SimMarket and from the Contrail shop. SimMarket prices €21.59, which equates to roughly $23.52 US, or £18.52 UK. As ever, US and UK prices are estimates from the Euro, and they do include tax or VAT at 20%. That percentage may vary depending on your country of purchase. It's a nice scenery. It's every bit as good as the other two. It's very, very highly detailed. There's shed loads of detail in this, in a way that some of the other hasn't. It's got a lot more in terms of fine detail that the other two sceneries don't have. It doesn't necessarily make it the best, but yeah, it's another fine effort from RDPreserts. There's certainly the skills are improving and getting better and better, and no hesitation in recommending it. So there you go, folks. Thanks for joining me. I hope this has helped you if you've been on the fence about which version to buy. I want to offer my apologies because there's a good chance I might not get another review out this week. Things are happening or have happened outside of my control, which may well prevent me from doing certain things, but you can be assured that I will continue to release videos as often as I can. While I've got the opportunity, let me say Merry Christmas to all of you guys. I'm extremely close to 1,000 subscribers. I think I've got maybe about 20 to go, something like that, or 15. So if you guys are out there and you know anybody who's interested in this, and get them to sign up, I will be really pleased. So thank you very much for sticking with me over the years and over these reviews. 420 odd plus reviews out now, and yeah, I'm really hope that they help you, and I try very hard to interact with all my viewers. I always respond to comments, and yeah, let me know what you think of this in the comments below. So this is Lee, your virtual airline pilot, wrapping up another review. Thanks very much for joining me, and I will see you in the next one. You guys take care, and bye for now.